this time on Woody's Garage.
It's the third or fourth day being in a heat wave, and it's supposed to last for about another 4 days. It's goddamn hot. And this is the front wheel, and I want to see if I could clean it up, get that paint off there. I'm going to try gas to get the paint off. It's been on there probably for a million years. Somebody tried to make it look like new chrome by just blobbing paint on it. And we'll brush them on and see if we can wipe it off. Side one. Looks pretty good, huh? A little on an old chip brush. You get the idea. I'll show you when it's done. Show you now they came out good, but I'm not done. I'm going to wipe it down now with a little Marvel Mystery Oil. And what I've heard about Marvel Mystery Oil, I've been using it my whole life since I've been a kid, is it actually has wintergreen oil in it, which is one of the only oils known that's good for rubber. So let's put some on and see what it looks like. And I'll tell you, they're not perfect. That's not bad for a half an hour's worth of work. Yeah, back one didn't come out too bad either. Certainly a lot better than it was. Yeah, looking pretty slick, huh? So you probably saw in some other videos that the bolt that was here was long, so we cut this one down, chamfered the end, and we drilled a hole in it so that I can put a cotter pin in it for safety reasons so it doesn't fall out. So I got my order from Old Mini Bike Warehouse. I'm gonna put in a new jack shaft and take this one out because of the threaded end, because this is for the torque converter, and I'm not going with that, and I like that I have more options with this. It was pretty cheap anyway. A couple of 5/8 bearings and collars. Gotta make a sleeper in here. Maybe I'll use the one that's in here already. I also got bearings for the back wheel. They're in the freezer right now. Don't know if it's really necessary to do that, but you know, I think it might be a good idea. Heat them up, put those in it. I need a spacer between them for this too. Okay, we got the bearings out of the freezer. Been there since yesterday. And we're going to heat up the hub a little bit and tap them in with the rawhide mallet. Show you more in a second. Looks good. Okay, we got the spacer in the middle. Looks a little long. I think we're gonna have to shorten that up a bit. This one I had to use a 27 millimeter. Yeah, 27 millimeter socket. It's about the same size, and this one's a little tougher to get in, but it's in. And the tube in the middle seems to line up just right. Sometimes it's like a little short and just, you know, falls out of place, but this should work out really great. So that's good. I gotta figure out the spacers here. Yeah, I mean, the idea is just to set the wheel up in the middle. So, and I'm going to have some definitely wiggle room on the jack shaft, which is my next issue, is that I ordered a new jack shaft. I think I showed you. Right here. but I neglected to order a 5/8 sleeve spacer, and this one doesn't really want to come off, and in a way I'd rather just kind of leave it. So I was going to head down to like Lowe's. Somebody said on Old Mini Bikes forum that the black pipe for electrical wiring fits 5/8 shaft like really snug, so I'll get a length of that rather than order something up. Okay, I just came back from Lowe's. This was the only stuff I found that'll kind of work for this. It's a kind of a tight fit. Might have to split it, but that would be okay. I'm just going to make it the same size as this. Damn, now I'll complain about the weather. This is like the 6th day in a row, 90 degrees and 70% humidity. It sucks. A cold front is coming, and I can't wait. I can hardly breathe. Okay, we cut it off with a pipe cutter. It is a tight fit. I pounded it on a little bit, but I'm wondering, sure, I can get it all the way to the end where it's flush, but how am I going to get it in the middle of this thing without tearing the crap out of it? I'm thinking about splitting it down the middle. I also bought these two spacers. That's probably the way to go. I reluctantly forgot to measure this thing before I went to Home Depot, but it looks like those two are that size, or just a little bit more, but probably the thing to go with, huh? Okay, we cut a slit down in it with a hacksaw, and debating whether to use this or use those. I mean, I can use those on the outside or someplace else. You know, there's not a lot of demand on this thing. It's just to keep the bearings from getting crushed, but I'm also going to have those collars. So I think this thing will do it. It's not a big deal. Well, it's gone from that crazy heat to a really nasty ass lightning, thunder, and rain. Ooh, lost the electricity already once. Whoa, did you see that, baby? Should have held the camera up a little bit. Well, it's a bunch of junky spacers for now. But yeah, that'll be okay. Gotta wait and think about the sprockets. That's gonna be kind of next. There's one that I think will fit this fine on eBay right now. It's new old stock, and I hope it doesn't go away. I don't have any money right now to buy it, but I hope nobody buys it for the next couple of weeks. So I think once we buy that, the rear sprocket is going to determine my ratios, because I don't have a lot to pick from. Okay, that ice cold bearing went in there just fine. Fits nice and tight. This side is a different story. I keep losing everything today. This bearing goes in there like that. So I don't know if I could like gouge up maybe the inside surface. Of course, now I can't get it out. There we are. You know, gouge up this surface a little bit with a chisel or something, or what I can do to make sure that that bearing is seated. I mean, you can put it in like that. I have these collars that I was thinking are going to ride like that. You know, it'd certainly hold the bearing in, but I don't think that's right, because it could spin and wear this. What do you think? What can I do to fix that? And that's how much jackshaft we got to play with, that quite a bit. So, you know, when we find out where the sprocket's going to end up, we can just, you know, take off what's left. Same with the other side. Obviously one cut will do it once I figure it out. But how do you make that bearing stay? So another thing I'm pondering is, this I believe is a 3.5 Tecumseh. I got this from Bob, who passed away, and that stash of stuff. And this is virtually a brand new engine that was sitting around in his garage. Had the kind of reddish motor oil in it. And like I said, I think it's a 3.5. It's got the cool exhaust. I forgot what they call those. Right there. But I also have a couple of old greasy, dirty snowblower engines, maybe a 6, 7, 8 horsepower. I'm not quite sure. I got a couple of them, I think. It would also be candidates. I don't know, what would you go with? I think the 3.5 or 4 horse was basically what these things had back in the day. But should I go for more power? I mean, I am going to be running a clutch. Keep that in mind too. Okay.